I really want to say sincerely how excited I am to talk to the both of you. I really cannot wait to see this movie. A lot of questions. I want to start with you. In the footage that we saw here at Celebration in Japan, one of the things that we learned was that at some point you are going to be Mando and Grogu's boss. I guess you send them out on mission. I'm not 100% sure. What can you tell people about your role in the film?
I think you're quite perceptive. And I think I'm a pilot who came up with the rebellion, and my job now is somewhere in the Outer Rim, just protecting the New Republic from all the scum that's managed to make its way over to the Outer Rim. And for that, I really need someone like the Mandalorian. And, I think for me, even though it was hard for me to act this because I'm in love with Grogu, I had to, for me, Grogu's an unknown element. He's not a full-grown bounty hunter, am I right? So, but, if you want Mando, you've got to take on both of them. But I had a great time. I hope I'm a pretty tough boss. I have to get the job done.
Are you in the film? Sorry, I'm going to ask you, but is it are you in the beginning, middle, end? Are you just a segment of the movie?
We should. I don't want to.
Oh, okay. I'll move on to another thing.
Honestly,
John knows that I like to dig.
Such specific things.
I'll move on. So I'm curious. One of the things we also saw in the footage that it does seem like Grogu's powers have grown a little bit. So I'm just curious, how much has he grown since we last saw him?
I think that you want to have progression, so it's not just the same situation over and over again. So on one front, the relationship between Mando and Grogu has evolved as now he's an apprentice and now he's family member and adopted by him. And as they go off, as it said in the end of the last season, it's his job to train him. And they have to go out on adventures and they have to work together. And so there's an apprenticeship that's happening between the two of them. But also Grogu is becoming more comfortable. As remember, he was trained by none other than Luke Skywalker. And the path of the Force is a lifelong path. And so we want to have evolution. And as the story gets bigger, the screen gets bigger, we want to have Grogu grow into that.
One of the things that I heard about the TV show was that you would give directors a thin script and the directors would sort of work.
Sometimes, like Robert Rodriguez, definitely.
Sure.
Where he expanded on the action a lot. The action's sort of underwritten. But a lot of them were, there wasn't, there was definitely a lot of room for the directors to bring their vision to it. And often I would do rewrites based on what their instincts were. So I liked each episode to have different personalities and reflect the directors.
What I'm curious about with the movie was this one of these things where you had this 120-page script where it was really detailed and the action scenes were figured out. How different was it in terms of the writing of this versus the writing of one of the episodes?
The scripting was similar, a similar process. And as we get into the action, I like to write the story of the action, but not shot for shot. Because we have such a great story group doing storyboards, and we have previs and animatics. And then I work with great animators and Hal Hickel and the whole gang over it, and John Knoll and everybody at ILM. We understand each other from having collaborated on other seasons of television. So I like to leave room for that for everybody to bring something to the table. But a big difference was I only directed one episode of all the seasons. So for me to roll up my sleeves and be a director on the set for every setup, every shot. And then Dave did a lot of second unit work on it as well. So we tried to keep that collaborative spirit. Peter Ramsey also, the second unit director. So a lot of people who had directed on the show had come in to also participate in what we were doing, on the set. So even though it was a film, we wanted to emulate the collaboration that we had on the series.
But if I may, I would say that for the first scene, which was in that cafe, bar, whatever it was, I felt you were very, as soon as you saw things going, you were very, rewrote, in other words, he built on what the script was when he saw things happening. And that's so much fun to work with a director who has that confidence and that much intimacy with what he wants in that scene.
I'm out of time, but could I sneak in just one more question? It's an individual for each of you. I cannot wait for Avatar. I'm just curious if you've seen a cut of the new one. What were your thoughts? And for Jon, one of the things I loved Skeleton Crew, and one of the things I loved about it was the use of miniatures and stop motion and old school Star Wars effects back in Star Wars.
Yes.
I'm just curious if you embraced miniatures or stop motion or things like that, old school Star Wars in Mandalorian and Grogu.
So I'll start. Yes, we are working with Phil Tippett. We're doing some cool stuff. Star Wars covers several eras of visual effects, cutting edge stuff and old school effects. And so we wanted to capture all of that. Selfishly, as fans, we just love working with all those tools, and Star Wars gives you the ability to work with puppets and CG and all that. So we wanted to incorporate as much of that as we could. And having the schedule of a film allowed us a lot more opportunity for that. Even though we were able to do it for Skeleton Crew, we have to turn around very quickly and be very surgical and strategic about it. Here we have a longer run, so we could plan longer and incorporate a lot of different techniques that we didn't have the luxury to do on the series.
So Jim is anxious to show us a section or two. He's very excited about it, but he's in New Zealand still editing. So we have to wait, I think, till July when he comes back to see it. But he's very excited about it, which of course makes us very excited about it.
I cannot wait. And I really want to thank you both so much for coming into our studio here in Japan at Star Wars Celebration. I wish you both nothing but the best.
Thank you
so much.